Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. See ya. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday, pay it forward Friday, we're seizing the day. Digital finance, unlearning a love, serving food to what those told. Rising as the beat and it, Eastern on P2GTV. Breakfast with the Thomases, come meet me.
Sookie now. Grand Rising and welcome to Work It Pay It Forward Friday with Breakfast with the Thomases. I'm your girl, Ruby T, doing my thing. Oh, well, I'm not just doing my thing. I got Mr. Thomas in the house.
Grand Rising. Well, that was a little funny, but okay, I'll take it.
Wow. All right. So we get the party on. The world is doing what the world is going to do. We tell you every other day, pretty much, about how things are going. And today, we had to change our programming because we have got to stay on top. You know, as a community, we want to keep you guys abreast of major changes that you will feel going on around you in news that you do not watch. Why do I say that? Because it's true. Most of you all are still, and people around you are still distracted. And living in the distraction will definitely keep you from being able to get ahead of the changes in the real world. The goal in life is to get ahead, to be safe, and to be on top of the things that you want out of life. But what if those were not possible anymore? What if the new system of control was permanent? So let's take a look at what's really going down. And y'all know the one thing that matters in your pocket is that moolah. And whatever it's doing goes according to what you're doing. So you want to take a look, Mr. Thomas? You want to show what's up?
This what you're going to see there is a gentleman from Mexico who's been a chair in Mexico for many years, and now he works with ITM Trading, and he's talking about how the wealth shift is going to occur and how it's occurring currently. So sit back and get your pen and paper out, take notes. And one of the things I want to say before
questions.
Huh?
Ask questions.
Ask questions, yes. And believe me, when the wealth shift happens, it happens the same way every time.
Mr. Thomas, you still have that shortness of words. He said wealth shift.
Wealth shift.
Yeah.
Grand Rising. Okay, let's get it up there.
Let's go.
So people wake up, they turn on their news, it's there, it happened. Can you walk me through maybe what that day looks like? Like, you know, I get the announcement. I think our audience understands that fear because it's a scary thought that could be the reality one day. That's what we're heading towards.
There you go.
There's going to be a breaking news story, and they will announce that now we're going into a new currency.
When is the reset going to happen? Followed by, what is a reset? And I was thinking maybe we start today by just defining what a reset is. When people ask that question, what are they actually referring to? People wake up, they turn on their news, it's there, it happened. Can you walk me through maybe what that day looks like? Like, you know, I get the announcement. I think our audience understands that fear because it's a scary thought that could be the reality one day. That's what we're heading towards. What actually would happen to the currency?
As an analyst, I probably get asked that multiple times throughout the week. That is a key question, right? Because everyone wants to know, when is the reset going to happen? I think what they're really asking, Taylor, is when is it going to be official?
Okay.
When is it going to be apparent? Like, that's when the reset happens. When a government comes out and says, okay, there's going to be a breaking news story. The president, whoever that is at the time, Secretary of Treasury, more than likely the Federal Reserve or the central bank spokesman, will be on TV together, and they will announce that now we're going into a new currency. They might say something like, we're going to revalue, we're going to start over, we're going to restructure. There's going to be all these different words, but it's going to be a reset. And so I think when people ask, when is the reset going to happen? It's happening now, and there's symptoms to it that we can talk about.
Yeah.
But when someone says, when is the reset going to happen? I think what they're asking is, when is it going to be apparent to me? And when is that official statement going to come out?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
That totally makes sense, because I think a lot of people understand, they can feel what's going on, and not even just feel, right? They look at their bank account, the value of the dollar. We'll talk about purchasing power and more things today too, I'm sure. But you mentioned symptoms leading up to that kind of official reset. I obviously talk about a lot of different things that I'm seeing, but I'm curious from your expertise, when you talk about symptoms, what are those?
So the symptoms that I saw happening in Mexico, and I've also studied other resets, right? Mexico isn't the only country. You've had, Venezuela, you've had Cuba, you've had North Korea, you've had Russia, you've had Zimbabwe, all these other countries. And it's interesting that when you look into it, the symptoms before are very similar. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple things that are consistent throughout symptoms. So number one is unsustainable debt. Okay, when a country can't service its debt, mm-hmm. then it has to do something, right? The other thing is what's called trade imbalances. Trade imbalances is when a country is importing, exporting, but there's a trade imbalance where you want to be on the positive side of it, not the negative. So if you're on the negative side, that's a problem. Then you have a thing called imposed tariffs. We just had that. And why would a country need to tariff? Because one thing, coming from the background in my old business, when tariffs are paid, they're paid straight to Treasury. Okay, it doesn't go to the people. It doesn't go to fund government projects. Tariff is just another way for a government to get a direct payment to the Treasury. And the reason tariffs come about is a lack of money. Mm-hmm. Okay. The other thing is higher inflation. So a common symptom of a currency is inflation starts not only being consistent, but it also starts ramping up. And I think there was a report earlier that you mentioned. I think that inflation went 3 to 6%, something like that.
Yeah, it just came out. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Federal Reserve target is what, 1.2?
Well, 2, but it's a goalpost that keeps changing, right?
But by it going up to 3 to 6%, whoever you want to believe, because the CPI index, the Consumer Price Index, yeah. What a lot of people don't understand is it excludes food and energy. Mm-hmm. I have to eat every day, and I use energy every day, right? But the government said, oh, no, that we're not going to equate that. So those are common symptoms. So then when you start looking at it, do any of those sound familiar?
Absolutely.
Right. And when I first started back in 2009, and a lot of the analysts, we talk every day, yeah. We get to talk to you. But one thing we talk about is back then, it was hard to find something bad. Like in 2009, 10, 11, whatever. We really had to research and dig in. And then all of a sudden, we started hearing bad news once a month. Then it started becoming once every other week. Then it started becoming every week. And what is it now? Every day.
It's not even every day. I would say it's every hour almost.
Right. So
yeah.
Anybody that is following any news source, whether it's mainstream news, local news, YouTube, whatever, there's all this out there that people are talking about. This is not going to end well.
Can I ask you, because that's interesting when you lay it out like that, do you think that the reason that it's so much more prevalent now or in our face is because we're moving closer? Is that why you think that that's happening? you know, as far as kind of these news stories that are coming out and things, the cracks that we're seeing, I guess, form everywhere.
Well, one of the big cracks is the purchasing power chart that you talk about.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to show it.
Yeah,
also.
We can pull it up right here too.
Okay.
Actually, I have this, and then we'll make sure we put it up on the screen so that we can see it as well while we talk about it.
The original dollar that was created in 1913 through the Federal Reserve Act, you can see where it's down. It's worth I think it's less than 3 cents now.
Yeah.
So 97% of the purchasing power of the original dollar has been inflated away. So when a country gets to this point, when a country gets to a point where there's so little left of purchasing power, most countries and central banks have two options.
Okay.
They can either default on their credit debt obligations, or they can restructure. Okay. Now, I don't believe America will default. I could be wrong. But if we default,
and define for our audience too, define default.
Default is when, just like us as individuals, if you have a house loan and you're late on your house loan and you're not making the payment, what happens? They're going to come take it.
Yeah.
So you're defaulting. You're not honoring your obligation.
Right.
So governments, when they get to this point, a default would be, they would basically tell not only the country, but they would tell the rest of the world, I'm not paying you what I owe you. The reason I don't believe a default would happen is that would create a civil war here. And it would probably prompt countries like China, Russia, whoever invading our country to get their money. Now, I could be wrong, but more than likely, Mexico didn't default. They just reset. Venezuela, as messed up as they are, they're not defaulting. They're resetting, right? Zimbabwe, Europe, when they went to the euro, as I mentioned, that was a reset. However you want to call it. But whatever country you were in, they said, this is the new currency, the euro, and you have to exchange X amount of your money, old, to the new one, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think a default is likely, but those are the two main options. And this is why we keep hearing the word reset. And when the purchasing power, when we get to that point, country has to do something. It has no other option. You had a video that
30% of all the money supply ever created in our country was done in 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is starting to happen underneath is the government is getting very nervous. And they have to create money because they have to keep the lights on.
Right.
like here, right?
Yeah.
So if you can't pay that, then you have to restructure, just like an individual, you know, like a bankruptcy, right? Where bankruptcies are done so that people can restructure their debt and they can pay off creditors, right? So I think that's what's going to happen here. The reset is basically going to be, I guess, another form of bankruptcy.
When we're defining the reset, people wake up, they turn on their news, it's there, it happened, right? Can you walk me through maybe what that day looks like? Like, you know, I get the announcement. I think our audience understands that fear, because it's a scary thought that could be the reality one day. That's what we're heading towards. What actually would happen to the currency?
Okay, so I'll use Mexico as an example.
Yeah, please.
So in Mexico, it was 1,000 to 1 reset.
Okay.
And they basically lopped off 3 zeros. Now, the pitch from the government to the Mexican people was, this is going to be an accounting favor, because it's easier to show, you know, instead of having to put 1,000 pesos for everything, let's just do 1. That was their excuse.
Right.
But anybody that lived in Mexico during that time, or anybody that's watching us, if you have family that went through it, how did it work for them? How did that end up working? It didn't.
Not well, yeah.
Right? So the way it would happen is, so let's say we wake up tomorrow.
Okay.
And there's an announcement. And let's just say on the low end, just to be conservative.
Okay.
because I've researched and I think it's going to be higher than this, but we'll just go with, let's just say it's going to be a 10-to-1 reset. Okay, so you go to your bank account. Let's say you've got $1,000, and then you see the announcement, and you're like, oh wow, I better check my balance. 10-to-1 means that $1,000 is now $100.
Mm-hmm.
Now, $100,000, 10-to-1 means you've got 10,000. $1 million in your account, 10-to-1 means now it shows 100,000.
And they're going to tell you that it's worth the same amount, right? They're going to sell it to you like you said, this is just to make it easier on everyone, because this typically happens when there's great inflation or hyperinflation.
Correct.
Right? Yes.
Yeah, they're going to sell it on, you're still going to be able to buy, again, using Mexico as an example. So if a cup of coffee in Mexico cost 1,000 pesos, now it was supposed to be 1.
Okay.
Well, what ended up happening in just a few weeks, that cup of coffee was not 1, it was 2, it was 3, it was 4 pesos. But see, here's the mental side of it. If that cup of coffee is 1,000 pesos and it goes to 2,000 and 4,000, you're like, God, it just went up 2-3 grand. But if it's 1, it only went up 2 pesos, whatever. It only went up to 3 or 4. So they do that on purpose so that people get confused. But that's how they can bring in even more. The inflation will continue. So yes, technically, if a cup of coffee at Starbucks, whatever, costs $5, and they do 10-to-1, that means you should be able to buy that for 50 cents.
Yeah.
Right. Initially, maybe that day of the reset, they will do it, but more than likely in a short period of time, probably a few weeks or a month, that cup of coffee now will be 75 cents. Now it'll be $1, $1.25. And then people will think, well, 6 months ago, I was paying $5, and now it's only $1.25. Well, again, it's 3 times more.
Right.
Right. So that's how that will look like. You're just going to have less amount of money. And here's the worst part of it is what is going to be the purchasing power of that money. So even if you had, $100,000 and now you have 10,000, is that still going to buy you what 100,000 did? No.
The problem was never solved. Right.
It was just an accounting thing that they did. Illusion. Yeah. It was an excuse.
Yeah.
Because again, going back to symptoms, governments aren't going to reset or restructure if they can service the debt. They're not. Right. But this is a common symptom. And this has been going on for thousands of years.
Now, for people out there who are watching and wanting to prepare and position, I know we had talked about maybe showing a visual of what it would look like if you had, let's say, $1 million before the reset in cash. All right, so we have here $1 million in cash. Okay. So this is your $1 million before the reset.
Yep. In the bank or in the stock market, whatever.
Right. And that's a good call out too, because I always say to people, dollar denominated, right? People think, oh, it's just the my savings account, right? Or it's just, no, it's anything that's dollar denominated, like you called that out earlier with the ETFs. But you have your $1 million here. And let's say that the government decides to do a reset 10-to-1.
And you left it in fiat dollars.
Fiat dollars.
However that. Okay.
Yeah. So 10-to-1. So this is your $1 million. Right? This is where we're going to end up. That's what you're left with.
That's it. That's what you're going to wake up to.
Okay. Now, what if you had taken that $1 million based on the patterns, the charts we looked at earlier, and put it into gold?
So let's just call it low.
Okay.
Let's go 6-to-1.
Okay.
Because it's gone up to 10. And there's been situations out there that it's gone significantly more than 10. But let's just be safe. Let's be conservative and just say it just goes up 6 to 1.
Gold goes 6 to 1.
Correct.
Okay.
So that $1 million that you just had, you took that and you converted it into physical gold.
Prior to the reset.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. There we go. So here we have $6 million on the other side versus what you would have been left with.
So you got $6 million. You had $1 million, went into gold. Now you got 6.
Yep. You had $1 million in fiat. You kept it in fiat currency. They revalued 10 to 1. This is what you're left with over here.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
At the reset right after, what pile do you want to
have? I think we're all going to agree that's the one we want. Yeah.
And here's another just thought that came to my mind. Even if it stayed at $1 million.
This pile over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it stayed, which it isn't.
Right.
Because it's going to reset. But even
and
if
it's going to keep going down in value even. But,
exactly. Yeah. But even if it stayed at $1 million.
Which one would you rather have?
Not only that, but you could sell $1 million of gold and you still have $5 million left over.
And that's a good point too, because sometimes I get that question. People will go, okay, so this is the pile I want. I have my 6 million of gold on the other side of the reset or whatever it is, right? What do I do with it? That's something that people ask a lot.
Yeah. And I know because you and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
One thing that I'll just tell our audience, even though you're a young woman, but I see you because I talk to you a lot.
Yeah.
Your knowledge base is way beyond your years. Like if I didn't see you, I would think that you've been doing this for 30, 40 years. Okay. So I know that you've talked about one of the things that we offer here at ITM Trading also is when that reset happens and you've got this pile of money.
Yeah.
What did you tell me you're going to research?
Oh, well, I've been researching for a while. Yeah. What you do on the other side of the reset, what you do with your assets in terms of converting them, whether it's studying even different areas like the Great Depression or the Great Financial Crisis, right? What happens in those certain times? And in resets particularly, you want to be working with someone on the other side who understands how to convert your gold or take your $1 million off the top, right? So that you have that liquidity, so that you have that opportunity for different assets on the other side.
And that is going to be there advising you, whether you want to, whether someone wants to do it or maybe they're just happy with this.
Yeah.
But there's going to be other asset classes like you and I have talked about that are pennies on the dollar. And when you look at the wealthy families in America, what do? They buy an asset that the price is here. They let that asset price go here. And then when these assets drop to here, they come down and buy. So then what you're creating is you're just creating big money. That happened in Mexico the same.
Yeah.
A lot of my business partners built generational wealth. Why? Because you had money to do it.
Right.
If you don't have money to do it, you're lucky if you can just pay the bills.
Yeah.
But why just pay the bills? Why not have enough that you can provide for your heirs, a legacy, maybe a church? I don't know. Maybe you want to help a local church community. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's the options and opportunity that's provided to you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. But if you don't have that,
if this is all you have,
you're just trying to pay bills.
Right.
And you're just trying to put some food on the table. But this is where I think it was important for us to talk about it, because the reset is really about opportunity.
Yeah.
And that famous light at the end of the tunnel that people talk about, I don't look at it just because I know people that went through it that did really well. And I've positioned myself personally to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I have gold. Why? So that when the reset comes, then I can convert over and I can buy whatever. If I want to buy, real estate, if I want to buy stocks, bonds, whatever, it could be a crypto. Who knows? I have no idea. But I have the liquidity to play with.
Right.
Because in that scenario, check this out. I matched you here like a poker game. But look at the pile I still have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can play your hand how many times? A lot.
Right.
Right. But you get it.
Yeah.
And I think the opportunity side is where I want our audience to really understand that that's really what it's not just about protecting the money.
Yeah.
But also being in a position that you can wake up in that same scenario when you said, oh God, I opened up my account. What happened? You could be like, wow,
right.
Look at what I have.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the other part of it. So what I would want to tell our audience out there, if you're already a client, call your analyst.
Yes.
Call them and say, hey, I heard about this promo. I think I want to buy more gold. Okay. If you're not a client yet, you definitely need to call us, because the analysts here, you know, we're going to put a game plan together that's going to benefit you for this. And there's, you know, companies out there, and as long, you know, in the 18 years I've been here, I get so many of my clients to say, I didn't learn this from another company.
Right.
I've had people tell me they learn more from me than their own stockbroker, because the stockbroker, all they want to do is how much money more are you going to give me?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you haven't prepared, even if you have gold, because the other question I get asked is how much is too much?
Right.
Well,
is there a limit?
Well, there goes back to the pile.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think anybody can have too much gold. I really don't.
I agree.
And central banks, guess what?
They feel the same way as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the other part. So, you know, call, make that appointment. Most of us here have been here for 10, 15, 20 years. And we've been studying this for decades, right? And you're doing a lot of that research. So then when this happens, you're going to be advising the client what to position into. I want, again, our audience, whether you're a client or not, to understand who we are.
Right.
You know, this is what we do.
Yeah.
And we're in it every day. We research, we're on top of it.
Yeah.
Other companies, are they even going to be there?
You're on the front lines every day. Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, when you become a client here, you get that analyst throughout. You know, we don't change them.
Yeah.
Where other companies, anyway, not to get into that, but no, it was my pleasure.
Yeah.
And, you know, thank you, audience, for listening. And I hope that, you know, you learned something today that maybe you didn't.
Okay, I'm coming into the space right now. Oh, right. So, Mr. Thomas, I'm going to give you a minute. All right. One, I want to say thank you to Taylor Kenny and her guest tonight. So I'm just like, I don't know how many of y'all love the visual. I'm a very visual person. Mr. Thomas, you want to fix your camera before you come on camera. Go for it. Go ahead and do your business. All right. So I just want to say, one, thank you to ITM Trading and Taylor Kenny and her guest, who happens to be, let me be real with y'all, okay? I'm gonna be super real with y'all. He hit it on the head. We are going through a currency reset. And really, what you saw on that table matters. That's really how it works. And it's not speculation. It is what is happening, what you are watching happen with your monthly budget. Now, he's talking about people who actually took their dollars. There's a comparison here. There's the ones who took their dollars and turned it into gold and silver. Okay. They have solid value or value holding processes. And then there's those who don't realize that your 401k is not a hard asset. You don't understand a dollar denominated asset is anything you get paid back in dollars. So when the dollar value goes down, so does everything you own. So does everything you worked years for. And when they pay you back $100,000 with $1,000, because that's what your retirement package had, and tell you, oh, no, it's with the reset, everything is different. That's not how consumerism works. Because quickly, what was $1 will be $2 because the people who sell to you have to make profits. They're dealing with the same loss, and they will pass that on to you because that is how business works. Why do we speak to people about this like this? People, we've got to change our perspective. Now, one of the things I love that they are, ITM Trading educates, but it also sells gold and silver products. Most of their clients, and I'm gonna be honest, most of their clientele, we understand there's a clientele for everyone. Everyone has to get this at whatever level they're at. I see a lot of people popping in and out of this because you think this doesn't apply to you. You think that somehow all this stuff is not going to happen to you. Well, the government is not going to step in and correct your life during its reset. Have you all noticed that's not the requirement anymore? Mr. Thomas, you're not on camera, just so you know. I'm not sure what that is. You may want to come back in when you have a visual. It's okay. I got you. So I want to get together, family, and let's talk about it, because I want to show you what it looks like, because it's happened already. You guys don't remember this because a good portion of you weren't born, but I got blessed with education. Okay. I don't know if how many of y'all know who Richard Nixon is, because a lot of people don't know who our presidents are. You don't know the presidents, but there are some presidents that are more infamous than others. So let's take a look at that. Mr. Thomas, I'm gonna need you to bring down your video so we can have room for this one, please. All right, let me get it up here for you. No, not a video file, sorry. Okay, here we go. So this is President Richard Nixon. A lot of people called him Tricky Dick. And the reason they called him that was not because of Watergate, the last portion of his running before he was impeached. They called him that because this little move right here.
A nation's currency. The strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world. Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
Come on, somebody.
Now, what is this action, which is very technical, what does it mean for you? Let me lay to rest the bugaboo of what is called devaluation. If you want to buy a foreign car or take a trip abroad, market conditions may cause your dollar to buy slightly less. But if you are among the overwhelming majority of Americans who buy American-made products in America, your dollar will be worth just as much tomorrow as it is today. The effect of this action, in other words, will be to stabilize the dollar.
I'll tell you right now, that is not what happened. The dollar didn't get stabilized. It got mobilized. It also began a process of inconsistency. There was no longer a need to control the amount created. So what you've been experiencing, extreme inflation, was not happening before they took us off the currency. That was the first currency reset. And it changed the world because we got to imagine as Americans that we had more money. Well, guess what? They're about to play the same imagination game on you. They want you to imagine that less is more. They want you without solid value. That's what's coming. Just so that you know, that's what's happening currently. Don't worry, inflation isn't that bad. Got a question. In your household, can you say that? Because that is really all that matters. Who you are and where you live, it should be your one and only concern. This is not a news, this isn't a news blog or this is a new conversation for making changes. Because one of the things you saw in that video before the Nixon video was that they showed you the difference in what pre-reset and post-reset looked like. So pre-reset, you kept everything in fiat or dollar-denominated assets. You kept them, held on to them. You said, not my account, not my savings. That's just some checking account stuff. I don't keep much money there. Oh, I got no money in the bank. I hold on to dollars. I'm stacking dollars. Well, as long as you're stacking dollars, you're stacking something you don't control the value of. And the minute that it changes, everything in your pocket is valued at what they say. Didn't you just hear Nixon tell you the convertibility? As long as you do what you got to do here, how we say, it's going to be worth this. Just need y'all to take to the next level. On the other side, before the reset, this is part 2 of the pre-reset. Pre-reset, you decided to buy gold and silver. You decided to buy gold. And it 6 times itself in value. Just 6 times. They're talking about gold and silver, and I'm letting you know, this ain't speculation, baby. Gold and silver, the banks aren't, they're not stocking it, and trying to hoard it for nothing. They're not doing that with physical gold for nothing. Countries aren't trying to get it back. I'm not making this up. You can go online and look at how many, look in Google and see how many people, put it in ChatGPT. You get a little more searching. Ask ChatGPT how many countries have either called back or made major purchases and put it on a graph of gold, stocking silver. But you tell me, Miss Ruby, we don't know. I don't know what that means. What it's going to do for me? Like I said, you should have showed up to Wednesday because we talk about what they're here for. You need to start showing up because you can't afford to say you don't know anymore. We told you this was happening. We told you that a day like yesterday, when the price of every damn thing that was solid went down, we told you that was coming. So as you begin to see the erosion of the use of your dollar in these next few months, how many of y'all decided y'all gonna go on cruises and travel? And I don't mind cruises, whatever you want to do. The problem is I'm gonna tell you what my brother at Earn Your Leisure said. He ain't talking nobody. Anybody that come in talking about buying any crap, any luxury, blah, 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 and you ain't investing in assets, and I mean solid it out, he ain't talking to them for the next couple of years. And I got to say, I follow suit. I hear about you going on vacation. Peace out. You are outside of my friend group because of the fact that you are not in that space. I cannot do it. If you're not talking about building assets, when we talk to y'all about crypto, that's taking your dollars, building them up so you can go get that gold and silver. I'm trying to teach you the system through at the amount that you can afford. But if you can't come and sit your ass down long enough, then that's you. You just signed your deficit. You took a side. That's all I'm saying. I can't say you signed anything. Y'all will make it through. You know what I'm saying? You made it through the first shift. How you liking where you ended up? But like I said, I ain't here to save nobody. We offer y'all a seat at the table, listen and do what you got to do for you. And if you make no moves, I got a lot of people who talk, but they don't walk, and that's their business. I don't waste my time. And oh, yes, let me make it very clear. You ain't at the table for free. You don't get to eat for free, and you don't get to eat on me. That's not life. So P2G is a platform that supports this platform. We have programs like at cost metals to help you get access to affordable metals now, and hurry up and get those real metals. They also take crypto. So let's see if we can help you build up show you how to build up that value. We want to use DeFi. You need to sign up for Sunday course, because that's where we're doing our DeFi practice. You know what I'm saying? You pay one amount, you get to start building finances and figuring out, start to see yourself actually acquiring gold. You know how many people come in and start and they stop? That's your problem. You think you got time. You think you got time. The reset has escalated. In fact, it says accelerated, I should say. It's accelerated. It has elevated. Many people already made millionaires, because the reset is an opportunity for you to finally shift your place in the world. This already happened twice. It's happened 2 times so far in America. The first time they confiscated all the gold, making and creating the gold dollar. And then when they took it off, making the fiat dollar, which we know as the petrodollar. That dollar in your pocket right now is called a petrodollar. And that is changing. Oh, that's what's up. Look, I got confirmation from the universe. Let y'all know right now, that petrodollar is dying. So what is it going to be? The dollar for what? The ones that hold the most value in it, guess what? They're coming out of it to what holds real value while you pay the bill. They raise taxes. Tariffs don't go. Did you hear them say tariffs don't go to things like infrastructure, people, families, healthcare? None of it. Tariffs go straight back to the treasury. But ain't our government supposed to take care of us? Everything that we put in there, everything they do supposed to be for the people. Don't get it twisted. They're still running a business. Now, in this conversation, we're here to talk about you getting down to business. It's time for you to get back to your business of yourself. It's time for us to mind our own business again as the individual and learn how that works. Because right now, family dramas ain't got no time on them. Heartbreaks ain't got no time on them. I don't care if you plan to get married, ain't got no time for that frivolity. You have no time to do anything that's considered a luxury. If you are not planning, posting, creating, and learning how to solidify yourself in the next 10 years, people go generational. I ain't got no kids. You plan to die? Because obviously you don't plan to live there either. Generational wealth goes beyond you. It allows you to have a future. And it is not built into someone else. It is what you build into your future. It's how you stabilize today for what you have tomorrow that no one else can take away. P2G has we have a very strong motto: acquire, build, protect. And gold and silver fall into that. What we have done is made sure that we align ourselves with not just the information, but the resources to get it done. And if you guys come into class, those who are showing up to class are starting to see some things really gel for them. Those who decided, I catch up with it, we wasn't doing anything because you were waiting for instant gratification. Well, these markets, we can afford them. We know what is going to go where. All of those who got caught up in the SpaceX mayhem, and I didn't buy one share of SpaceX. I didn't buy no share of SpaceX. I have not bought any of Elon Musk new projects. So you know why? Those products were not made for me. They were created to use people like me. I am not a number on the top scale. And it's okay. I'm going to let y'all know this is not a rant. This is a hurry up and get your shit together because the door's closing. I didn't close the door. I don't have a date for it. I just know that it's getting thinner and thinner to get through. How many of y'all can afford, Mr. Thomas, if you need to come out, just come out. Went off camera. How many of y'all actually have taken the time to start building up credit so you could have some funds built into getting this stuff? How many of y'all are too afraid to owe anything? You live in a debt-based system. Well, that system is crashing. And as it crashes, it's creating millionaires and billionaires. There's a system for it. There's all paperwork. So if the smoke and mirrors around your money is existing, what do you think exists around the borrowed money as well? I got some folks that go, I don't like dealing in other people's money. It just doesn't seem fair. You think you dealing in you saying a savings and loan. We ain't a savings and loan. You're not dealing with your neighbor's money. That's crazy. Stop thinking that. The money that you're borrowing doesn't even belong to the bank. All the money you put into your bank is long gone. Mr. Thomas, unfortunately, you're gonna have to fix your camera. Oh, come on in the studio and join me on the other side. You got a choice. You got a choice. All right. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. This Friday was a whole different story. We had a whole different platform for y'all. We want you guys to realize you ain't got a reason to be scared unless you're doing nothing. If you're gonna sit in the corner and cower, then you deserve what you get. If you are willing to learn this, start taking this information, search the internet. You have questions, you know where to come. Go to P2G Networks. All right, thank you, baby. You know, we have a lovely building community around the world. I'm really excited. But if you're not building, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna speak to some of those folks out here, some of these so-called gold and crypto, these gold people who are putting down crypto, talking about Bitcoin, like, it was the Trojan horse. Let me explain something. When people don't understand something and they're resigned to one thing and they have absolutely no other way of thinking, be afraid. Be afraid. That's divisive. There are people I used to follow, and I'm like, I had to stop following them because I realized that's that. I hate to say it, that's that Jim Jones way of thinking.
Really?
I'm not because you're not giving instructions on the other side. You ain't giving instructions. You just telling us we're gonna have the day of enlightenment. I want to know what it looked like the day after. Tell me what the day after is supposed to be. Because if you just talking about the day of enlightenment, that's an end.
That's the end of everything.
Don't put me in gold and silver and don't tell me what to do with it. That's why we have P2G. We got tired. We like y'all. We got tired of people trying to take us to the promised land, but dropped us off after they got paid.
Never got past the front door. We got to see the door and see what it looked like.
We heard about how wonderful life is. I want you to know that there's work involved. I want you to know that some of the things that you're going to do, you got to actually talk to other people because you got to build alliances to protect yourself. Remember that protect part. You have to be you got to come out of yourself. You can't just sit there and act like, oh, well, I'm going to do this all by myself. No, boo. There's lots and lots of videos that I can show you that's not the move. And you don't get to do life over once it's gone.
No, that's the scary part. Everyone thinks there's, and I think, you know, a couple of people that we talk to and we say when we're on the journey, they think it's a destination you're trying to arrive at. It's not the destination. And I'm finding, and more as I go along and I'm actually studying and doing some work, it has nothing to do with where you end up at, because it's never end unless you're going in the ground. The end is when you get in the ground.
And you don't want to be expediting that. You want to start creating a solid base. You need gold. Gold is the long-term hold. You borrow against gold. Silver is your everyday expense. It can be used as, now this is in times of extreme need. How many of y'all know that people are selling silver and gold for cash right now?
Very much so.
Yeah,
Because they think they're trying to get back to the dollar. They think that the more dollars they have, the better they have. Now, can't say why they're doing it. We don't know. They're just doing it. Can't say why.
But the fact is that if you're not going to play the game like it's, we're not talking about the market. We're talking about your survival, your ability to thrive when on the other side, you can't control the day and time when it changes. Y'all heard them say that. Everyone's going to wake up to that day. Everyone's afraid. Oh my God, these people, they're zealots. I'm like, let me explain something to you. No, I'm a mathematician. I'm a mathematic person. I do math. I also follow trends of changes and look at where they're heading. Changes around policy, changes around government laws and rules. Who is susceptible? Who it favors? You understand? People got scared. Oh my God, around the crypto, and they wanted this, that, and the other. And some people like, oh, it was always a government thing. They were always trying to get in. Guess what? You don't know what you're talking about because you have no clue. You haven't done research on how it works. You actually
9 times out of 10, all those loudspeakers are just people who are afraid because they don't know where to go next. And that's the biggest thing.
They need to be heard. I'm not here needing to be heard. I'm telling you, go find out for yourself. P2G does this as a labor of love to our community to bring more people to the community of self-knowledge. It is not me feeding you. It is me letting you get crumbs so that you go out the rest of the way. We setting a table that'll allow you to build on. But you get, allow you, because we don't force nobody. And I let folks know, if you're not contributing to the community, don't expect to be treated like a member. Because membership comes with benefits. Onlookers are not members.
Window shoppers. Onlookers are window shoppers.
If you're not a contributor to the community that keeps this growing, I'm sorry. Well, you have a good life. Good luck. You got to be serious. That's like trying to go into a communal community at a time of war, at a time where everything else is, and you want to go in and have a meal with that community, but you haven't contributed. Try to do that on an Amish farm. Try to go to an Amish farm and just pull up a seat at the table. Oh, you ain't wash no dishes? You ain't make no food? You ain't scrub didn't scrub the barn or something to earn your space in this space? There's churches you can't go to and that happened.
True indeed. True indeed.
You know what that is? See, because there's no entitlement when it's extreme need. Only useful people. Otherwise, you starve. That is where we are right now. Only useful people. And it's not just P2G. If you have no use and you can't even get you together, no one's going to carry you. Our platform is only for members. People who have committed to the process, stepped in, invested, are now still investing not just time, but actions. I don't have time to teach people how to do stuff from scratch over and over. You can only get more once you finish with the first portion. When you finish the first instructions, then we come back for some more. Because you're learning to master self-independence. Mr. Thomas, I'm going to need you to put back everything that was in here so we can give them access to it.
Okay, I got you.
Uh-huh.
I was trying not to cover your face in the screen.
First of all, one of the things I want to just say for my sister, thank you, Miss Faye. I'm going to put up like, comment, and subscribe. If you like the conversation, this is a different conversation. It leads a lot into the same direction, but we come with new information every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can come on and spend some time getting some new information to go on. You'll get updates, information. Mr. Thomas, this is actually not the first one, but okie dokie. It's okay. It's okay. Put it up. All right. So If you like the station, y'all are able to come on our YouTube. Hop on the YouTube. It's probably the most visual, the most available. So the YouTube is on P2G Networks TV, and we are already on. All you have to do is hit the notification on whatever channel you're coming in from. Hit the notification for Breakfast with the Thomases. It's live. Our crypto in business is what we do on Wednesdays. Wednesdays, people, I always let people know it has a multiple use. Because crypto and business is not just for business owners, it's for the consumer. You have to be doing business. You have to be connecting to resources outside of the system. This is not just cryptocurrency we're talking about. This is acquiring assets and building on your income outside of your work schedule. And some of y'all ain't got jobs. So that's even more amazing. How many of you were self-employed if you could? Mr. Thomas, where's the rest of the stuff? Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Because we need everything up. Okay, so this actually wasn't the next one. I want you guys to, I got you. Just keep putting them up. I'll come through them. Don't worry. Because y'all got to get connected. We partnered with Solarium Life and the Hero Program, helping everyone remove obstacles. We have a couple of things because it's a progressive. The first portion of Hero is removing obstacles. The first obstacle, we can put it back.
Babe, I can't.
The first obstacle we help you remove is your mentality. That lack mentality is the first thing that's got to go. And we show you digitally, mathematically, what abundance looks like and where it is. Oh, yeah, we ain't playing. Because the platform is results-based. It's about you knowing your worth and knowing what your time is truly worth and how to multiply within it. If you follow instructions and you do what we tell you to do, you get the results of not just ours, but the people who have built it. Now, what I love about this particular platform, it's built to help itself grow. Let's say this again. It's built to help itself grow. Not just you, but it's built as a tool to assisting your personal growth. And that's crazy because we're teaching businesses how to do digital business well with tools and getting paid to do that. And nobody knows how it all works. So we send them to the source and get paid for it. Actually, I'm kind of enjoying this, having a good time. Because if I can help a small business owner cut down on their expenses, then on top of that, not only do you cut down on your expenses, but now you're getting paid to save in your business. That's a win-win. You're getting paid in Bitcoin to save on your expenses. That's a win-win-win. And why is that? Because Bitcoin's an asset. Oh my God, Bitcoin is down. So I actually would like to earn some low Bitcoin so I know what to do with it as it begins to grow, because I use assets to get assets. Y'all get that? I never came out. I stay in assets. And what's a new conversation for a Wednesday? Hop on. The masterclass. In this instance, we actually are focusing on small businesses and even churches, because what we're doing is we're helping institutions learn how to start accepting assets instead or digital payments without the third party expense.
Absolutely.
We actually have a masterclass coming up. Now, our masterclass only holds 10 seats, and I'm letting you know this. It's a fundraiser. It happens once a month on the same Sunday every month until August. I'm sorry, in through August, because our class happens in August. We'll have the class start. What's the fundraiser? We have a children's course called Crypto Kids Entrepreneurs. Crypto Kids Entrepreneurs is where we teach digital financial literacy to young people through gaming and learning how to become small independent business owners. We get their imagination in action towards something they would like to do to learn how to create income and then build wealth on it. This is happening. I actually have a questionnaire going up for people who would like to have. There's only 20 spots, which is why we'll be doing this. We're running this. Once we do this, we should have enough to cover the 20 spots for the kids that have been chosen. If you would like your children to be chosen for that, you can fill out on the website. Go to the website and look up the Crypto Kids camp paperwork tomorrow. It doesn't come out today. It comes out tomorrow. I have someone working on it. It's a questionnaire you have to fill out to qualify your child. I can only say we can only do 20 seats right now. What you're seeing in funding is to be able to make sure we get the proper support, the proper resources, and it is two-parted between the parent. The parents have to be a part of the process because the kids cannot own crypto. They cannot open a crypto account. So they have to have your support. Now, the wonderful part is you can actually get a seat. We want to make sure that if you can help get business owners to this platform, you get a ticket for a seat. You can't own the seat. We'll do a lottery for those who do donation. I'm right now sending funds up. If we have folks or parents that want their kids to go, we can put you in a lottery and give you a ticket. And when we draw the tickets, and your child, because you help with the donations, you help push the donations to the platform. This particular class is set up for small businesses to get the step-by-step on the top 5 coins, and those aren't it. So let y'all know to accept. And that way, marketing strategies, as well as the physical setup of the technology for their businesses. Guys, this is a win-win. We've been doing this for some time, and I'm telling you, things are changing. We just got to know how to change them for ourselves and our communities. Now, the business owners can be from any state and country. They just have to make sure they make their donation and show up to class. The next class is tomorrow. That's the first class. The next class will be next month in July, around the same time. So look for the flyer on p2gnetworks.com. Don't forget, everything you need is on that platform. It's all we do, all week, all day. All right. And with that, we invite you to Sunday nights to talk about different legal and lawful ways of getting things done. Our last Sunday night is this Sunday. We will be shifting those Sunday nights to Saturday. The new schedule will be available. For those who are regular students of that space, you know that you'll see a schedule change. Put it on your calendar. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. And with that, you know where to go. You know what to do, and you know what we're about. So let's get started. One, I want to make sure I give everybody a little love and pleasure. We see Trippy Drink Lips. Good yawning love. How you doing? That's my babies. We got some folks out here on stereo, clapper. We got folks that are on their shows right now doing their things, but they giving love to the P2G. That's what I'm talking about. We got to give a little Miss Shelby Nicole. You know how this works. Shelby always in the house. If she ain't up on the panel, she in the house.
She missed the 5 minute today.
Oh no, she didn't. Watch.
Oh. From the start of today's podcast, and it's 7:07. Hey, Mr. Fireman.
I told you.
I guess I was wrong.
Told you. She don't miss us.
What's happening? The Gold Baker. Miss Ruby, you back there? I came in. I think you're listening to something.
Yeah.
Everything's good and happy. You know me. Freakalicious Friday. Make your money, make money. Get it like it. What's up, Shelby? You know the weirdest thing is I'm listening to that. The weirdest thing that in 2026 we're talking about invading a fucking country.
Thank you.
He's been doing it, and it's almost like some old movie shit, comic strip, game type shit. Come on, man. Really? When I tell you Senator Palpatine that hit the order 66 button, come on, man. I'm not trying to scatter. Everybody talking about leaving the country. This is my home.
I'm with you, bro. I certainly am. I ain't leaving this place. And the fact of the matter is, we got to stop with the I just want to let y'all know something. We got to stop looking at the results of how government functions. I need y'all to stop paying attention to the moves they make while we are making ours. Is really what happens. You can't watch the distraction and make moves. It's not going to work. It won't work for you because it doesn't. So what we do is we make moves. Mr. Thomas, you can take that down now. What we do is we make our moves while keeping an eye and at bay. So if they're planning to invade another country, you need to solidify. You understand where I'm coming from? You need to solidify here. Because when all of the bullies, and then by the way, that's just another ploy for moving money, y'all.
Yep.
Wars have always been used to move money, to print more, and it quickly drains the American pocket, which is why we're talking to you about hurrying up and getting your gold and silver. If you don't get on your at-cost metals today, and I'm telling you right now, that link is right up, all right? That link is right up. You can get your at-cost metals account and go get you some at-cost metals. Got it? And I mean at-cost. I ain't joking. I got my membership. You don't have to get a membership. And you're still getting what I do because I do price comparison on platforms. Between the fact that you don't get taxed for metals, can't tax money because it's money.
And money is becoming on the United States using gold as a payment system currently.
Now, with that, I want you to understand something. Get what you got to get, and we'll show you how to get it and keep it safe. Let's go. Let's go. We got one more. Hold a second.
Come on. Well, you should know better than that. Over here, not ever. Not never. They was ending up a whole. Not fine with that.
She talking about Shelby. She's a little lower. Thank you, Miss Shelby, Grand Rising. She's about her fireman. She was like, you know, I'm on that. She's like, Uncle Alvin, cut it out.
Just for her, we're gonna have a fireman lottery. See if they play.
Look, I'm gonna be really honest with y'all. We have love from everywhere, and we thank you all for being with us. I'm gonna get a little something up here, Miss Faye from California. How you doing, Faye? How you doing, baby?
We can't forget. Yo, Nakia, happy birthday.
Nakia, happy birthday. Oh, yes, I'm loving it. She said, cancel love in the house. That's what I'm talking about. That's my baby girl, Nakia. She's doing her thing. Yeah. And about to really get out. I love people who plan big for their birthday. Let me know what's going down. Because if we have it, we can get connected. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying, y'all. I'm really trying. But I gotta hop off, and I'm gonna be honest because I have a meeting coming up with some people from a couple of other countries, and I love you all. I want you to know that the availability of the platform, everything you see here, everything you've heard here is available. Reach out. If you've been trying to reach me, y'all gotta speak up. If y'all been trying to reach me, y'all gotta speak up because y'all know we're migrating our website, and some of the reason why we're migrating our website is happening on the current one. So if anyone missed me, let me know. All right, let me know so that way I'll be able to connect with you. But it's time. Come to class, sitting on a free one. Y'all sitting on a free forum. It's a forum. It's a conversation. Ask your questions. Y'all talk about a closed mouth, don't get fed. You don't show up. You don't know what the hell you missed in the meal. It's just how it is. Let's go.
It is how it is.
On that note, I gotta say, I love you, and I'll see you all very soon. Ooh,
see you. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday. Pay it forward Friday, we'll season the day. Digital finance, underneath a love, serving food to what those store. Rising as the beat and it Eastern on P2G TV.